Stronger,
Imagine a world without choices.
stronger,
Imagine you can't make your own decision. That wouldn't be a world for me. That wouldn't be a world for you. UIC.
Tell them we're gonna be stronger. Together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Gonna be stronger together. Time we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. It is a natural right for every human being to be free. Free, so free. So the government is there to protect you and me. UIC objective is to liberate the citizens from colonial bondage, them regulation, them taxation. Rob Jamaica, we independent. Be stronger together we.
Good evening, Uniters. Good evening, Jamaicans. Good evening, friends and families around the world. Welcome to another edition of UIC Liberty TV. This is Joseph Patterson, UIC President, here with you tonight to talk about a very important topic that's very dear to me and also very personal for many of you, especially our guest who will be coming on shortly, Mr. Lacell Girlie Parnell. We're going to have a very interesting discussion about, how to escape poverty. And we're going to do it from a personal standpoint, looking at his background, my background, and the paths that we took and how we got to where we are today. No judgment here. We're going to try to just understand how any Jamaican, and in particular two fellow Jamaicans, how we transcend from what we were born with, where we were born, the context around our lives, and how we have evolved, the kind of things that were done, and when and where, and how they made a difference in our own lives and in the lives of those around us. So good night, Maisie Miller, Paula Shelley, Negos Tony, Juliet Chambers, Carol Spence, Cool Guy, Peter White, and others who are on tonight. Please like up the thing, hit subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and send it to all your friends and families around the world, and get ready for a very lively and spirited conversation with a very colorful gentleman who I think is going to add a different flair and flavor to our discussion here tonight. I can ask a quick question of all of you, and it would be an easy answer. If I ask how many of you here were born poor? If you were born into a poor family, like maybe a single mother or a single father, or you were living with somebody, in somebody else's care, but you were born into poverty. Let me see how many of you are like, Mr. Parnell and myself. Just type yes in the comment box to say, yes, I was born into poverty. When I was born to a single mother of three. She had three children, and we lived in a one room situation, little box, not one bedroom house, a one room house, and one bed, one stove, one TV, upon a little dresser, and a small amount of space left in the middle of the room, the chimney under the bed, all that kind of stuff. Outside bathroom, and you have to go there. You're afraid to even go inside here. It's dark and dingy and dirty, so all kind of stuff. Right? And some of you may be like me, you had to sell at a bus shed. I was selling at a bus shed at Washington Boulevard and Malines Road as a child, 9-10 years old. I'm selling to help my mother make ends meet. She used to work as a crash program worker, sweeping the streets, work in factory, work in Kentucky. So we're coming from a far away, So there we go. A number of you were like myself, were born into a poor family. Now, when it comes down to poverty, I don't think most people understand what's really happening to them or happening to us when it comes down to poverty. So to escape poverty, you have to understand it, first and foremost. If you want to escape poverty, it helps to understand it. Now, some of us escape poverty without understanding it. It kind of It's a bit of luck, you might say, and some hard work. But if you understand poverty, it's a lot easier to escape it, which is interesting because they don't teach it in school. They don't teach you about what poverty is, what causes poverty, and how you can escape poverty. They just kind of tell you, study a book so you can get a good job and come out to something. But there are two sides to poverty. One side is systemic, meaning it is driven by the system you find yourself in. And the other side of poverty is personal, meaning it is driven by your own personal choices, your own personal condition, and so on. Now, the two are quite related. The systemic reasons of poverty and the personal reasons of poverty are related. Yeah, and they're related to one common thing, and that common thing is the system of governance under which you live, learn, and earn. So, for example, a child that is born in a country where the system of governance is more effective, so that you have better schooling, better healthcare, um, better economy with more opportunities, better public services, public library, community centers, gymnasium, support system. A person who's born into a country with those systemic elements in a better position are more likely to escape poverty than somebody who's born into a country where systemically you have, you know, many poorly equipped schools and teachers who may not be able to deliver, uh, communities which are volatile in nature, which makes it uncomfortable to kind of live, most lacking in community amenities, like proper libraries and so on. Maybe, as a child you were deficient in nutrients. Your mother couldn't feed you proper breast milk that is very nourished and well developed by eating properly. So your blood quality is not the greatest. The kind of food you eat may not have really stimulated your brain cells the way they should. And maybe the kind of condition of housing meant that when you went to school, you were either tired or haggard or just not prepared to learn. And when you go home, the home environment is not conducive to doing your homework and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe your parent can't even help you with your homework. So systemic reasons as well as your own personal thing now, such as your own personal drive. So I find that those who escape poverty are usually those who manage to quickly identify and master a marketable skill. And that skill can be in any shape or form. Yeah, for example, the skill can be plumbing, carpentry, music, uh, food, entertainment, science, whatever it is. So if you find a skill that is very marketable and jump on that and you're aggressive about it, you're ambitious, yeah, you're very ambitious, you'll find that your chances are greatly enhanced. Now, those who are trapped in poverty are usually those who did not develop the ability to overcome natural and artificial hurdles of life and the system under which they live. So that system create barriers to entry, creates hurdles, artificial, and then there are some natural ones, though, according to your own life, your own parental situation, and so on. Those with the most drive, though, the most ambition, the most perseverance, those are the ones who often succeed the most in escaping poverty. Everyone else fails, except for another subset. And this subset are those now who have the right connection, the right ties, and the right intergenerational wealth playing in their favor. Of course, they will either escape poverty or may never have seen it in the first place. So, tonight we're going to look at one man's experience. I'll kind of juxtapose mine at the same time. Give me 1 second here. We always seem to have some kind of technical challenge popping up. So give me a minute here to just make sure that we fix this one very quickly.
Stronger,
Imagine a world without choices.
stronger,
Imagine you can't make your own decision. That wouldn't be a world for me. That wouldn't be a world for you. UIC.
Tell them we're gonna be stronger. Together, together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Gonna be stronger together. Time we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. It is a natural right for every human being to be free. Free, so free. So the government is there to protect you and me. UIC objective is to liberate the citizens from colonial bondage, them regulation, them taxation.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Seem we have a slight technical problem here, but we shall get over it. So, without further ado, I want to welcome now our guest for tonight, Mr. Lacell Girlie Parnell. I'm not going to do much of an introduction. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you and share with you, a little bit about him before we get into the main subject of discussion. All right, so I'm waiting for Mr. Parnell to get back into the room, and then we'll go from there. All right, I think he's about ready now. So again, good night and welcome, everyone. Sorry for the earlier interruption. Mr. Parnell, let me see if you're there and ready to roll. Yeah, look like he's here with us now. Hello and good evening, Sir Parnell. How are you doing?
Good. Hi, I'm very, very good this evening. How are you doing, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. Fine, thank you. And I'm very to have you on the live with us tonight, talking about
Yes, sir.
the subject of escaping poverty. Let's begin now by you just kind of giving a brief to our audience on yourself. Who is Lacell?
Well, Lacell, Lacell is Lacell, from St. James, Maroontown, Flagstaff. I play multiple character, which I think I advanced every last one of them. I think I play about 7 characters, 7 different characters. And I want to get one more character on the way. What I was trying to do tonight, but unfortunately, I'm here sitting with you, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Try that new
Character. Well, thank you
character.
so much for interrupting your character development, or to be here with us tonight. Really appreciate that. But tell us about your other characters. Tell us about each of the characters that you have developed so far.
Okay, the first character that I ever done is a character called Luxie. And that was in the 1990. Luxie is a very slow but smart character. Um, and sassy in a way. I was playing more like a little sissy kind of character when I just started to play the Luxie character. I did it for about 2 years. After that, then like every year or every other year, the promoter wrote a next play, and that was Pioneer Wire, where I play first tryout for a character that I have no business
Mm,
doing. When nobody wasn't doing it, um, I was called upon to do the character, and I refused at first, and I said it. And even though I couldn't read the script at all, I memorized it by listening to
you
a
couldn't read
cassette
the script?
tape.
What do you mean you couldn't read the script?
I never read a script.
Oh,
I have done. I stopped count all the play that I wrote, producing, be co-star,
mhm.
R-star. I have never read a script in not one of them.
Okay. So you just kind of just learn it, understand the part, and then just let it flow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Once I get a grip of it, and even if I get somebody to read the script for me on the
Mhm.
tape, I will listen to that for weeks or for days. I don't think I even take weeks to listen to a script, probably
Mhm.
days. And I can go inside of a rehearsal and I can tell you every line
Wow.
from everyone.
So you are a brilliant character yourself, then.
I when all right, so as I was saying, when I first get the opportunity to play the female character, which is a choice that was given to somebody because somebody's supposed to play the role, a female. Um, I don't consider myself as a drag queen or a cross dresser. I'm just an actor that just act. And when they said do the character, and I said no, because nobody in Jamaica wasn't playing a full male female character, play from the beginning to the end. And luckily, all of us was kind of scared, and I tried the one time, and the one night I tried, it was an uproar in a theater in Ocho Rios. Like everybody was like, hold up. I have to come off a stage like 2 times when I met my first
My
entrance,
goodness.
and the character was born. That's Girlie. Migrated overseas, lived out there for a while. I developed a character called Mr. Handsome. And the Mr. Handsome character was Mr. Handsome 2, that's his last name. So Mr. Handsome and his last name being 2.
TWO.
So we used to say Mr. Handsome 2, but we take out the 2 and call him Mr. Handsome. Mr. Handsome is a war veteran that claimed that he fight in World War I, World War II, World War III, even though he's not here yet. And he's a veteran and he getting pension. But as an older man, you can see where the whole of right here is bald and ear around here. Sometimes it's like the hair move all over. Because 1 minute the hair is right here, next time is right here, and he sit down and moving. His teeth is kind of buff, and he have. If you see him, and he call himself Mr. Handsome, but looking at him, there's nothing handsome about him, but you can't tell him that he's not attractive or handsome, and he's a girl's man that love the ladies and thing and talk a lot. So that character is in as place for itself. And then I have a character
Before
called
you
Big
go into
Boy.
Big Boy, tell me about your schooling. Where did you go to school?
I went to Marlon, Chatsworth All
Where?
Age.
Which
That was
one?
in my home
What is it
parish.
called?
Chatsworth.
Chatsworth. All age.
Yeah. All age
In
school.
Montego Bay.
Then I leave from there now. Yes, in Montego Bay, in Town, and then I leave from there and I go to Marlon High School. Marlon was Marlon Secondary School back then. I don't think I spent 2 years in that school before I run away from home because, as you said before, poverty. And we're gonna get. I'm said before, I like the topic about how you escape poverty, and this is my story, how I escape it. So I told you from the acting, so coming back to even where I started, and so I didn't really finish high school. I don't think when I left from my hometown, I don't think I have a grade 11 education. I don't think I never have not even grade 11, grade 6. I don't think I have a grade 6 education skill when I leave my hometown.
Wow. And so now, let's jump back to the future now with your Big Boy character now. Tell us about Big Boy.
So the big boy character was developed from a previous play that I do called Crosses, Attack Laps. And I play a character called Big Boy. Big Boy was a gardener. And I was get hired by my husband and a wife, and I was supposed to do the plumbing, do the gardener work, and everything. So it so happened that instead of I'm doing the gardener outside, I'm doing the gardener inside.
And the plumbing too. And the electrical.
So I string up everything. At one point, it was sound splash. So me now I string up my land, and the wife kind of love it. And then on top of that, there was a next helper coming in and happen to catch the husband. So they both was cheating on each other. And then so me have the helper, me I get somebody helper, me I get somebody wife. You know what I'm saying? So me win both ways until they find out the wife get pregnant and the husband or boss and see a female. Come to find out that in sperm count low, so he couldn't go up to that. So a female we get kicked out. And the character is kind of a little bit retarded, and I do it. Let me phrase the word. I don't want nobody to be offended when I say retarded. The character Big Boy is slow, and how people look at a character that's slow, they call him mad, stupid, and give them in. I'm gonna see how the people look at me when I play that character. You know what I'm saying? And I say, whoa, in real life, they would have treated me the
Mhm,
same way.
mhm, mhm. But listening to you, Lacell, speak, and how you explain yourself and communicate, you don't sound like somebody with less than a first degree. Do you have a degree?
What can I
You,
who?
you, you
What can I
don't
who?
sound like somebody with less than a first degree. Do you have a first degree?
Of course,
Hmm?
I got first, second, and
Yeah.
third degree. I got all.
So tell me about those degrees though. Where you get your first?
Listen to me, man. Listen to me, man. You see, common sense. I've learned how to conduct myself, even though in my volatile state, in my vulnerable time, in my low time, I learned to lift my head up. No, probably I might not live to see this, but I don't know in the future, about the next 30, 40 years from now, you become Jamaica first independent prime minister. And I have the opportunity of speaking with you, and you are telling me I sound intelligent. Damn while I sound intelligent. Hell yeah, you can't tell me I'm less than a person because you have masters and bachelors, and you have Oscar, you have all those type of degree. Who the heck you think you are? You know better than me. Me can hold a conversation just like you, sir
Absolutely,
or madam.
absolutely, and you are doing exceptionally well. I mean, I am already myself quite proud to be in your company. So
You know.
tell us now about your fourth character now. So Big Boy was the third.
So now I have you say you have Girlie, you have Mr. Handsome, you have Big Boy. I talk about Big Boy, and then the next character I have is a Chinese. Uh, you know, we feel like all of we are family. So I have this half Chinese brother that I mean, his whole feature look like Chinese. He have one little Chinese thing, the Chinese talker. Or he run a Chinese restaurant, but not really
Mhm.
selling meat of the sort, everything else are rah, rah, meow, meow. But the public don't
Mhm.
know because you come a restaurant and he only have one food. So he said, you sit all time, you sit all time, all because the face, and the voice of it combined together. You come restaurant, sit all time, you don't buy food. You don't buy food. You go buy food today. You buy food today. You no leave food. So he asked, what do you have? He say, oh, sheep lo mein, beef lo mein, pork lo mein. We have rat lo, all kind of lo mein he have, and they will
Mhm.
buy it. But at the end of every time the restaurant to close up, you can see where Mr. Chin is taking up the dog head, the so that's the character that I
Mhm.
developed. And then on the other side with girl, you have a half Chinese sister.
Mhm.
So the whole family is a totally complete mess. And the next character I have now is a preacher. So we have multiple characters. We have on the
Yeah.
little white thing right here, the grown Bible and the and preach, and each character sound totally different.
Wow. Wow. And you had no problem switching into each of these characters.
I mean, in an instant, man, I will switch. And that's what I'm telling you. Education don't make you who you are. Don't make you it make you bright. It make you have money. It take. But I think I took myself and my family at one point. Am I in poverty? No. Am I better than I was a couple of years ago? Damn well, yes. Better. I can articulate my word better. When I do a stand-up comedy, I get cleaner joke, better joke. I learn how to do things different. Because if you book me up one of your event, the joke I come and give tonight, I'm not doing it tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. I'm giving you something different, something classier. Because I would flip you and I would make a joke out of
Mhm.
you without
Mhm.
disrespect you.
Excellent. Tell me about your family. What's your family situation?
No man, I think at one point I was the rock, the sole breadwinner for my family when I was living in the state. I mean, literally
Mhm.
anything. And 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 what drives me to do that is when we were younger, all of us who are on the live on all of my platform, when we were younger, we used to boast at school and say, oh, my uncle come from foreign, our uncle come from foreign. And no matter what, when the sweet what we get from them, we carry it to our school and we bite it and we share it for everybody. And it was so proud of me to know that I have an uncle who come from this
Mhm.
overseas. But a lot of time it don't go well because uncle come, uncle not carry nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? You never get nothing from uncle, but you already know your cousin tell you, say, my daddy come man and bring down this and this one, and you yearn for your uncle to give you something out of that barrel. Anybody on the life can testify to that. You earn to get a piece of just a soap, the smell, because remember, you know, the Ivy Spring, we can't get them now around the back of the market. So them we know, no matter send them in no barrel, we can get them down here easy. But when the Ivy Spring come, you want a piece of the Ivy Spring, you want smell like foreign. We never get the opportunity. So what it drove me to have a closer relationship with my family, even when I was living here. You know what I'm saying? But no, when I get the opportunity to go to America and run off, I didn't migrate nowhere. Nobody never sent for me. Nobody never filed for me. I went up there. Opportunity never they look good. Me run off, do what me have to do, and stay. I'm at work. So now I find myself in an American family. And son, when I find myself in that American family, everybody them as descendant born there. So I went into a family that flipped me. I mean, in the morning I wake up when when me and my wife get married and we start to live together. Not even long before that, when I was living at my cousin house, his son, his daughters used to on the phone with me, and when we hang up, all right, Uncle Chucky, love you. And I couldn't understand that each time you're going to end a phone call in America, they said love you. I'd never respond back to them coming and say, this love thing I drive me kind of a little.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I got married and stepped over now into my wife family, my wife mother is a pastor. Me notice everybody now start telling me this love, and then you start get uncomfortable. Because me I said,
Not
no,
your
man.
culture at all.
Me not used to this.
Love you, kind of
Me
thing.
not used to this. So by them start to do this to me now, me start to call back home on a regular, and I would call my dad, and I would call my mom. My father was alive then, and I would say to him at every end of every conversation, "Love you, daddy," and he don't really answer me either. I one day me get down into it. I say, Dad, I'm say, you know, come me stop calling daddy now, you know, come me there foreign, you know, so me used to the dad thing now, you know, come on. So I say, Dad, you never tell me you love me before, and he must say, boy, I Lacell, me love you no man, but me never know how for sure. No, like me say, you never hug me and tell me that. But he say, man, the love what me do, no, me provide for you, no, me say, yeah, you do all of that. But me want to hear. I say, from that, every time I call him, and before me come off in the conversation, I would say, love you, daddy, and he say, love you too. So what I did, when I went back to visit before he died, I bring the love back down. And even my peers, or even my cousin them, brother them was looking at me like me as some like a weirdo. We tell them, say, me love you. I don't sissy thing that you talk about, you be, and then put the word in it. I'm say, oh, them people don't know how to accept love. So now me start to show my family them more love. I mean, say, yo, I just belong. So when me up there, you know, me give you a story. I have an uncle that the one would travel. He was the one who travel all the while. And when I make a research to find out that if he was up in the States, and my mother say, yes, your uncle is there. We say, yo, if my uncle in America, in Brooklyn, me suppose I can find you, can be there Brooklyn, can buy them the season. I say, you know what? I go search for him. And me call and me find out where he live. Me call him phone, he answer. The man live. I live at 1216, and the man live at 1417. On the same block.
Wow.
Right there in Brooklyn. And when I went to the house, because me could have moved around by myself, I went to the house, ring the bell. Somebody come out and said, I'm looking for Uncle such and such. And say, oh, you are your mother name is such. So they recognize me. And I say, he said, come back in the evening. I went back in the evening. He greet me. And, you know, me say, he said, what you doing? I tell him when me there, what me do a little work, and we get ready to pack 2 barrels. And he discouraged me. He said, we are pack barrel for. He said, no, you have a partner barrel. And then you did nobody. No. And he was one of them that I was looking something from when I was younger. And he discouraged me, telling me not to partner barrel. And I say, yo, why would Uncle such and such discourage me? Me don't want to live like that. Me want to be better than him can know, sir. I packed I think I packed 4 barrels. In the barrel, me stuff some envelope. $5, $10, $5, me right name. All when me couldn't know how to spell all of them name, me put the initial and put the other initial. So then first name and then last name, so they know who. And me send them right in there. And I remember my mother issue out 20 barrel in the community. When it comes to my family, and I do believe no matter what people throw at me or what people do to me, they always are my strength. My family, they never. I don't remember that me and my sister. We might disagree, but I never. It's 9 of us, and I can't tell you when.
But when
Me and one of them.
you said you ran away from home, that was in Jamaica, right? And what led to that? What was the circumstances surrounding that?
Poverty and a sense of. I grew up to see my mother can't read, my father can't read, but my little sisters and brothers, who after me, they could read. My first bigger brother couldn't read. My sister them could read. So I have this notion of watching TV. Wish we didn't have one. And I would see our kids them born and we watch TV and how they grew up and then they move out and then they buy a house, get married and then they come back and bring things to their family. And they said then my sister them not do that. Me say them bigger than me, man, and them do that now. So when they left, I was looking for that. They never come back. None of them come back. So me I said, no man, it look like me. I figure do this. Cause me I watch too much TV and I see too much Pitney a barn and grew up right in front of the face. Oh the movie, cause me I think movie real now in a papa.
Yeah.
So yeah, this man Pitney barn in a crib, grew up. You see them wave, then they come back, pretty car, pull up in a driveway. Boy, and I said, Rocket, I Jerry that. Jerry get big man and Jerry married and come back with Pitney and car. And mama, I just want to tell you, we're taking you by a big house for you. We say, yes. Mrs. Nobody. So I think I wanted to do that.
How old were you then?
14.
By the way, I ran away from home at 11, just so you know.
14. See that? So upon me run away now, I think I want to conquer everything. I sleep all boat. I sleep. My first place that I sleep was in Montego Bay down at the market and Pushcart.
Wow.
And I was there. I started some hustling. Actually, my major reason when I run away, I stole my grandfather's goat. I stole the pot and I stole a scale. Well, unfortunately, they catch the goat, but they never catch the pot and the scale because I wanted to do something.
My goodness.
That's I have to do with something. We can't leave without nothing. I'm a grandfather and they never give me nothing at all because my mother didn't have anything to give me. My father didn't have anything to give me. My father is a farmer. My mother is a domestic worker. She only wash people clothes. There was nobody in the family to do business because, and to be honest, I grew about 1970. So in my time, a lot of things we never have all this luxury. So we didn't know that we'd have reached here. So at this time, no. We only hear about it, Well, I never know so we'd have a device with me and you talk together because the only thing I remember one big old phone like this or just one phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I move out for a better life. Brother, you don't half know my story. A lot of you guys who judge me because of what you heard. But if you know, you'd apologize to me. You'd have really said, brother, I'm sorry. But the only thing that we can go by is what the media say, is what you read.
Wow. If there's one thing that you'd like to say to those who may judge you by just hearing a story and never spoke to you before, they don't really know you. All they've heard is maybe one story here or one story there. Or like me, I mean, before I came on this call with you tonight, I got a message from one of our followers that was suggesting that they don't want to hear anything from you about escaping poverty. So they obviously don't think very highly of you. If you're not to consider such a person, what would you say to them?
I hope you're listening. Whether you want to hear, you might don't want to hear me, but other person wanted to. Other persons went through the same thing like me. Listen to me. There are persons right now that institutionalized. They are jail right now for something that they didn't do, and they couldn't prove it. What you say about those persons? What do you say? And they accuse of it. If and go back, and if any one of you go back and don't want to pull my file, I don't want to read up. If everything what you accuse me of, why would I be sitting here talking to you? May I get years, man. May I get years. Only don't know half of what happened. You see, if you see that I'm rising, you're going to do everything in your power to get rid of me as a comedian, because him might get too good, him too show off. Him too show off. You have to find a way to stop him. So I'll put somebody in a way. I'm gonna say something. I know who I am. And miss, there's no hard feeling. You have your own opinion, I have mine. Unless if you were in that courtroom, unless if you was there, and even if you was in that courtroom or you was there with me, you would have know, say, I'm not gonna say nothing, because why am I gonna say when evidently nothing wrong? But you're judging me based off of what you hear. I have my 2 granddaughters here with me, and people see me raise them, and people that say, oh, you say, who tell you that? Where you read that story that I'm not supposed to take care of my own kids? Where? And if I have them, and you see the funny thing about it, I have my granddaughter for over 1 year and 3 months. How can I be such a bad person? And I have my granddaughter then for over 1 year and 3 months on social media, and police not gonna look for me.
What is the backstory?
No.
What is the backstory? Why is that so important? Why is that even an issue?
Why?
Somebody's asking me to remind them who this gentleman is. Well, friends, we're talking with Lacell Girlie Parnell, an outstanding comedian who have played some interesting roles, from girly to big boy to Chinaman and all kinds of stuff. Mr. Parnell is here with us tonight to help us unpack the idea of escaping poverty. Many of us in Jamaica were born into poverty. Many of you watching here tonight, you're sitting in New York, in London, in Toronto, other parts of the world, and you're living a lifestyle far in excess of the one that you were grown up in. You have an indoor washroom, you have a nice kitchen, you have a nice dining room table, you have elevator, maybe you have car downstairs, maybe 2 cars, you have television station, you have cell phone. So, the fact of the matter is that many of us have risen out of poverty and are living a higher standard of living today. And it did not come by chance. It was by hard work and dedication. And so we want to understand Lacell's story, and we want for all of us to identify, where we can with his story. And then when we
Wait,
close out, we want to make sure we impart some wisdom to others who are watching, a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 22-year-old, and so on. Go ahead, Mr. Lacell.
with the small amount of education that I have, I have traveled to some big place or some big country to do shows. I have done shows in England. And let me tell you, when I walk into an auditorium to do a show, people just calling my name, and I feel special, like Jesus. This is what I've done. People just love any character I'm playing. I have collected some award from over the years, and a lot of person don't know. I'm gonna tell you one that right about now that can add it to my resume. This award, first and foremost, I help 6 kids go to Distinction College in St. Anne here. Don't know 4 of them, 2 of them personally, family, and the other 4 I don't know them, but they stick around me, and I send them to college. One of them is in an football institution that is a very good football player. The first award that he get This is it. And he take it home and he said, Uncle, this is for you.
Wow.
He could have taken it to his mother.
Mhm.
He could have taken it to his sister. He take it to me. This is my award. The next award, two award that I get is for my outstanding achievement in theater.
Mhm.
These are them. This award right here was given to me, and it is a lifetime achievement award
Mhm.
for my role in helping people,
Read that one
giving
for
back.
us. Read that one for it. Read it out.
And you know, say me not so good in the
Oh, no
reading.
worry,
Me
no
not so good
problem.
in the
No worry, no
reading, so
worry.
I'm
That's
not gonna
fine.
read
Yeah,
it
man, no problem.
read
No
out
problem.
here.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Where is
saying?
it
But
from? Which
it is
organization? Let me see it. Okay. All right. Yes, I can see it. Wonderful.
no, I've been doing theater now since 1990. Anybody check all these years that I get it? This award was given to me from two wonderful women overseas
Mhm.
for my for my role in theater. I never get it from no Jamaican institution, never. Because at the end of the day, you can't award me because me never go ahead in Mandy. You're not going to award me. You're not going
Mhm.
to give me my credit because I'm not a part of the elite. Because a little dunce or a little uneducated boy like me, nobody don't know who I am. All right. And you know about government. You are a part of a government.
Yes.
My biggest achievement award, more than a lot of Jamaicans never get that award, and a whole of them probably not get it.
Mhm.
And I get a proclamation from a congresswoman from the White House.
Mhm.
I mean, no, you know Yvette Clark.
Yes, 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 yes. Mhm.
And I get it. And on the proclamation read, Lacell Parnell remind some of us Jamaican as the late Flip Wilson. You know, take boy for you to compare a next actor to Flip Wilson.
Mhm. Wow.
Anybody who know Flip Wilson, go and do your research. Jardine, the first male ever play a female. And when this congresswoman adopt me and said, we are giving you a proclamation for your work, you remind us as the great Flip Wilson. Then a lot of so you hear me saying name? It is in every award you get from a congresswoman or from a congressperson or a congressman or whosoever.
Mhm.
There's a little piece of that in record.
Yeah.
So the lady or the person who are saying that is not going to remove, that is a part of my resume. My kids are my grandkids. Forget about what you heard about me. Know me, not judge me.
Mhm. Wow.
And,
Amazing.
and, and and we love to pass. What we love to do, we love to use some of the scripture on some people, but we don't use the rest. Don't judge because you will be judged.
Mhm. Mhm. So,
You might not know the Bible, but
yeah.
think about
So,
it.
Lacelle, supposing you had received full education, let's say you were born into a family with, a middle class family, not even a rich family, just a middle class family where, mommy and daddy had enough money to make sure you got private lesson, you pass common entrance, and you go a big school, like a Calabar or a KC or a JC or a Woolmer's, you know, and you pass your 7 or 8 subjects and you go on a UE or UTech or Edna Manley School of the Arts, and you get big accolades and big degrees, and then you get big job and so on. Who would Lacelle be today if that was your
No,
path?
no, man, me that be one bossy son of a gun, man. Me thank God when me there. If me did ever have like Uno have. And me done, me say, oh, me run up on Uno, man, because some Uno have it and I'm not used with it, brother.
Yeah.
Me say, all right, when I look into even the parliament and see how them talk with good
Yeah.
education, they don't have no skill. They don't know if it talk. They know, me probably can put all my words together, but me know how to talk. Me know how to come to you and ask you for help and get the help and give back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go come ask you for some money and all right, for the little education what I have, brother. Me could have me if me did have money.
Mm-hmm.
If me did have money, me run for the community leader, me I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that me I do, me I put infrastructure in the community. All right, me live in a money area, me I find one spot and me I put up one call center up here. So the people them from up, we have so many community come around in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So me I put a call center, so you don't have to worry about go all the way to Ochi and go for the say, yeah, come right in the community can work. Me I create jobs,
Mm-hmm.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me not take the farm work card and give it to my friend and my family. Me I give it to people who me know deserve it. And me I make sure sit down and counsel them and say, listen me, you get the farm work card, now go because if you go and run away, gonna look bad for me. And two more person on the road now go get it. So come back at your yard.
You're very intelligent today, you know that? Like, I mean, super intelligent for somebody who one might classify as not having any education. Your education is probably superior to, well, not probably, based on just listening to you, your line of reasoning, your thinking, and how you articulate yourself. You have more education than many educated people.
They don't give me a chance. He said they give me a chance, brother. All
Yeah.
right. We talk about a TV show. We talk about I can write.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a writer. I'm a producer. I'm a director. Give me a chance to write some TV show, put on TVG or CVM. They now to give me a chance because we're too local.
Yeah.
Or we not fit that they are leak and oh, because if we heard about him crime or what him doing in past, so they're not going to work it. But I dare you. But you will take other media. For instance, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
And this is no
Yeah.
disrespect to him.
Mhm.
Each time a Tyler Perry play show on TVJ or CVM, they have to pay him millions of dollars. Who watch TVJ? Do Tyler Perry family don't have what TVJ? Do any African person don't hear what TVJ? Do any Indian? And we have to watch a movie because that's what they present to us. But when we go with our movie or our thing, free thing to local, they are charging us to produce free own thing. So make the country watch what we produce, but we can't watch what we produce because we don't have the finance to do it because we're local.
Yeah, oh no, you're right. I mean, our governments for the last 80 years. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but Jamaica has been under the same two parties from 1944 until now. That's 79 years. So by next year, it's 80 years. And what I find, they do not respect us as a people. So they don't invest in us as a people. They prefer to call in everybody from outside. Right now, we have a constitutional reform committee, and on that committee, one of the big things is to put a Canadian person on it to say, he's going to guide us because we can't think for ourselves. We can't write a constitution for ourselves because the last one we had and still have, it come from England. And the next one now we're going to have, we need a Canadian man for company to help us to write it because we're not bright enough to do it ourselves. But I want to go to something that somebody told me about earlier. There's something in your life which is very important to you, and I think the viewers might want to hear about it. There's a sister of yours. Tell us about your sister, Christine.
Yeah, man, my sister Christine was a god. All right. So all my life, or all my adult life, I lived in Brooklyn, New York, work because I work at the hospital, Yeah, man. And let me give you the whole hospital issue before we go to Christine.
Yes.
So up there now, I do odd jobs because I run off, I didn't get my paper, I'm married to my wife. Didn't interested of getting, I didn't know how to go and to try to get paperwork to become permanent resident. And one day I make a call to one lady, and the lady said, you don't need to get a lawyer, you can do it yourself. And she tell me what to do. I do the thing in 3 months. They call us, and I get my green card. After I get my green card now, I decide that I'm coming to Jamaica. But upon being there, I have a sister in Jamaica that. How are we losing?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, we have a sister in Jamaica that she go off over 20 a year. And my brothers and sisters keep calling and say, yo, Christine sick, Christine up on the road. And each time she go on the road, she get pregnant because my sister look good. You understand? Before she gone. So each time she go on the road, a man would have get her pregnant and take her back and then she gone again. Not all the time. And so she was there. What we classify a man and a woman once they lose their mind, we classify them as madman and madwoman. We don't know we don't have the tolerance to tolerate them because they're not beard. We're not used to that part of our culture. So from the moment they're not beard and from the moment you can't stay in the yard and we are keep it real, we are Jamaican and so we stay.
Yeah.
But we not spend the time to carry them go to the hospital to find out before it becomes bad. So all along I'm there, I hear, well, she's an adult, she live here like me, I live for my life. Not until when I come to Jamaica back in 2013, I find out that she's on the street. Now I started to do my show, so I live in Senton side. Because when I go back, I go to Montego Bay, then I come to St. Anne. So she's still in Montego Bay, up on the street. Times to come out for the hospital, the next time she gone back. So we start to help people, give people food, and become a charitarian and everything. So hear me to myself though, I'm becoming a charitarian, but at the same time, I have a sister who mentally disturbed in the street of Montego Bay walking. People is going to notice I'm a sister and they're gonna come at me. Oh, me I help other people. Oh, come me can't help my own blood. I mean, I go pass her. So me decide to go to Montego Bay and take her to the doctor to get her back in her right sense, not to take her home. We're gonna make a mistake and take my sister to Ochi. And sir, for me take Christine home. That was it. The first night Christine come home and sleep in the bed that I have. I only have my bed on the couch. And I say, sleep in that bed, man. She said, no, Uncle Lacell, man. Me sleep on the floor. Because she call me uncle. I say, sleep on the bed. And she sleep on the bed, sir. And the morning she wake up and she stretch and she say, Uncle Lacell, tell you the truth, I the first me sleep like this in a long time. Uncle Lacell, me sleep like a baby. And sir, the tears just come, but me no make she see it. Because me said, when I see where my sister sleep, me know exactly what she mean. I make me carry her to the doctor the next day. And me say, when me think that she gonna stay a mobile, hear her to me now, the next day. Uncle Lacell ready if you go home. So me say I come back, he said, they no must. After me no want to down here. He said the people them down here, they heavy. And from there, she live with me for about a year and a half. And she started to get sick because she have something in her stomach what prevent her from eat. And Christine was who people know me by. People know me because of Christine. More people know who I am. Christine, the van that I'm driving now, I'm driving a Lexus van outside. That van was given to me by a woman because of Christine.
Wow.
That you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I do a lot of live. I never go on live and ask for medication for purchase for Christine. This woman makes sure send me medication, send me money every month to take care of Christine. Me and Christine fight. There was an altercation with me and a police officer that the video go over 6.2 million views. No, 6.6 million views.
Wow.
It was in the midst of COVID. And the government locked down the country and said nobody must not go
I saw
on
that
Sunday
one.
evening. I remember I was cooking. Christine loves smoke. And Christine asked me for a cigarette and I said, me don't have none. And she said to me, Uncle Lacell, me want one cigarette. In the kitchen cooking, when me come out, Christine, me get a call, say Christine is out of the road. Now me know if Christine go to the road with everything locked down, she might not know how to come back. So on my way now, to look for my sister, I stop at the police station and I asked who was in charge, and they said, the man, I said, sir, my sister is a mental patient and I'm going out to look for her. Can I get the permission? The policeman said, are you a central worker? If you go there, I'm going to I say, come lock me up. I say, you come lock me up. Oh, you can't lock me up. I say, sir, I go on bad with me. I say, lock up your mom. Me say, lock up your mama. I say, you don't have no conscience. I say, if anything happen to my sister out there, you're going to come to me. Because she's in my custody. And you're going to tell me, I say, when me go look for my sister, then you come back. Sir, Lisa Anna was on it. Couple big shot police called me and they apologize. Me say, sir, me never pass him. I went to the police station to ask for permission. Use the discretion. So me have to defend her, and one of the reasons why, because I've seen how people take care of their own in America. Me see how they take care of their own, sir. And a lot of time we pass them and we spit on them. A lot of time we pass them and they beg us something, and the very same thing that we are eating, instead of we give them, we throw it into the garbage. I'm saying that I never do that to anybody. And Christine has shown me how to love more. She has shown me patient, tolerance. Now, brother, anybody who have Christine around, if you don't know tolerance, man, you're dead. If you don't know patient, I would buy the clothes for Christine, and Christine put on the clothes, and Christine, sometimes she's seen her ministry and it come down in that time, Christine roll up the clothes and fold up in one corner. So I have to carry Christine go shopping to buy new clothes and new underwear. I mean, stop. No matter what, no matter how she tear it up. Sometimes me and she fight for going to the bathroom to bathe. And me and her brother, I'm going, I'm say, yeah, bathe this evening, I'm tear off the shirt. And she say, okay, Lacell, You know, she said the water cold. You are bathing. Why you not warm up the water? But when me bathe her down, she come right down. Uncle Lacell, you know, go to the road, come here, go to the road, and she sit down at the front of the car all the time. Me make sure reserve that for her.
Where's she now?
I think love.
Where's she now?
Huh? No. My sister passed away almost 2 years now.
Wow. Sorry.
She died, and she died in her son arm. She died in her son arm.
In
On her way
St.
to the
Anne?
hospital. Yeah.
Wow.
She lived with me almost 2 years, man. Me and she go everywhere. All right. For sure, you the type of person I am. I've get opportunity to go to Cayman. I get opportunity to go to Cuba. So I get opportunity to go to the Caribbean at that time when Christine was around. And me forfeit it because me didn't have anywhere to leave Christine. I even get scammed because I want to take Christine with me to England. Scam.
Wow.
You know, because me never gonna leave her because once in my life, me find somebody that, you know, who depending on me. And long before my two granddaughters, you know, because my kids, them, I didn't raise two of my oldest daughter. I only raised one. So I don't know how to, you know, I never have that bond with my sister when we were younger because, you know, I leave home from, I was 14. My adult life, I never really close to them. So I said, I get this opportunity. I'm going to make you wear the best. I'm going to make you look the best. Hello?
Yes. Keep going. The live was broken up a bit, but I'm hearing you now. Can you hear me? All right, like we're having a bit of connection issues. We lost him. Ah, he's back. Wonderful. Yes, welcome back, Lacell. We lost you for a minute there.
Yeah. I went into a store in Ocho Rios to buy a dress for Christine, and we were going out at one function. And I went into the store to buy a dress, and the dress was expensive because I have the money to buy the dress. And I said, let me take down that dress. I said, Christine, I like that. And she said, yes. So Christine just go off, you know, because normally she kind of cuss, like she see somebody, and she say, go away, and she start cuss the man. And this lady was like, the lady shout at my sister. In a way where me say, oh my, we said, no man, put up the dress. Oh no, me never know me your sister. Me said, that's how I treat people. That's how I treat people with unsound mind. Here I am telling you, Christine, don't worry, come. I'm an ogre. Take her out, take her. Excuse me.
But that is a result of our socialization, isn't it? Because if your government and your school system and then your hospital and your police are socialized to understand and appreciate, you know, mental health challenges and also just a different way of living where we're more, you know, there's a time in Jamaica's history where we're more together. We were more like family, even though we might not be related by blood. So you live in a community and we used to can share a cup of flour, some salt. We used to look out for each other to the point where your neighbor might even, for God forbid, beat your child because them see them misbehaving out on the street. But over time, that bond, that social bond that we used to have, that I think is quite indigenous to the African race, to be honest, that I think the way we've been socialized by, I remember, you know, government is responsible for the culture we have, you know. So for example, if your school policies, if your hospital policies, if your police training, if all of those things don't drive in a way that cause you to appreciate your fellow humans and respect them as human beings, rather than, for example, a police say, hey boy, come here, and you know, just kind of talk to people in this way that says, I don't respect you, I don't care about you, I don't see you as being. For example, I go to the tax office. I was just there the last 2 days because my driver's license got lost and I had to replace it. And the guy at the front of the door, there's a security guard at the door, and the guy is so mean to everybody, like just mean. And you know, my wife is the kind of person, she gets people to lighten up, and you know, we talk, and then him just come down and started talking to us nice because of her. I mean, but there's just this general aggression that we have in us as a people. The way they treat you in the government offices, it's like if you're the big guy, if you walk in and you look a certain way, then you get a certain treatment. If you
Of course,
look
of
another way,
course.
you get a. So, I mean, I think it's really quite cultural now because of the norms of our education, our policies, and our program. What do you think about that?
I don't think education have anything to do with it. As I said before, you may be bright and you're still illiterate.
Yes.
You're bright and you're still dark.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was going to Falmouth to drop off some chicken because I raised chicken back then. And upon going to Falmouth, I was doing my live. So my camera turned to the street so I could see anything. Everything was going on. There was a car in front of me and the car swerved and I keep my cool. But the policeman chose to stop me. When the policeman stopped me, and I proceed to ask him the question, sir, why might be stop? Why might stop for?
Mhm.
Boy, I just said, hey, go over there, sir, boy. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the policeman was much younger than me, and
Mhm.
I said, whoa. I'm still on the live, and a lot of persons say, "Don't come on for the live." And the way this man talked to me, the man
Mhm.
talked to me that I'm going to disrespect you back. Right? You tell me about my mother, you tell me bad word, but at the end of the day, you make it look to the judge like you're so innocent from that.
Yes. Yes.
Lies. I do believe that police should get body cam just like American, so they
Yes.
can see their dirts and see when them aggravate person.
Mhm.
And when I say to him that, you know what, I think you give me a ticket for no reason at all. What was the ticket for? I crossed over the white line. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't have a braking tail light. My registration, everything was good. I crossed over the
White
white
line.
line. Some say, you know what, I'm taking it to the judge. Go ahead, take it to the judge and go dash it away. That's the problem. That's every time they make a mistake and we take it to the judge take for them side and dash it out.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, so
Yeah.
what me I say? They
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
look on it and look on it and say them wrong on sometime.
Mhm.
Why did you tell a man bad word? If you're going to lock me for cursing bad word, who tell me bad word first?
Mhm.
Him. So
There's
me I go
no
tell him
penalty
back.
for them. Yeah, there's no penalty for them, only for you. But
All right.
I want to drill you a little bit though on the matter of education. When I talk about education, I'm not even talking about like how much subjects you pass or how much degree you have. But the education, I believe, an education system shapes a nation. Uh,
Yes.
if your system is a poor system, it shapes a poor nation. And if it's a system that empowers people, like I believe, for example, education must focus on three things, not math, English, and science and all that. Those are secondary. Those are important to learn, but they're secondary. The first thing you must learn in an education system is about yourself, your mind, body, and personality. Who is Lacell Girlie
Exactly.
Parnell? Who is Joseph Patterson? What is your worth and value as a human being? What is your ancestry? What kind of character do you want to form? What are the different types of characters? The second thing you need to learn in an education system, you need to learn about human behavior, other human beings, how you relate to people, how you form relationship, how do you build a good family relationship, a good romantic relationship, a good business relationship, how do you relate to people, different personality types, and so on. That's the second thing. The third thing you need to learn is about money, how money works. Yeah, the economics of money, the science of money, so that nobody can fool you up. Then now you need to know of competency skills, now technical skills, like the math, the English, the plumbing, the carpentry, all of that. But unless you have those three fundamentals, which by the way, those three are not taught in schools normally. Our children go to school and have the aggression of just simply trying to pass subjects to go get a
Mhm.
job, to get money, to then say, okay, me better than you because I have more degree or more this. We're
So
not
they don't
learning.
have the three fundament. They got the
They don't have
education, but they don't have the three
yeah, they don't
fundamental.
have the three fundamental. Even if they have a PhD, there are people right now in Jamaica with Let me show you something. Jamaica has had most of our finance ministers have been PhD holders. Omar Davis was a PhD holder. Nigel Clark right now is a PhD holder. The last one there, when Peter Phillips, PhD holder. And then we've had some very bright guys like Hugh Small and PJ Patterson, These guys have law degrees and so on. And yet still, Jamaica's economy has always been mediocre or bankrupt. So if I can tell you, there might be a Jamaican who would have held that position and would have been more frugal, more careful. No, we can't borrow so much money. No, we have to make sure when we borrow it, it's value for money. So if we borrow $1, we must make $2. So we pay back the $1, we still have $1 left in our country.
Right.
I build it up. Oh no, we can't get some people to come build a road and then them own the road and then we pay them money and that money flow out of the country. We have to learn to make our engineers build the road and then make the money stay in our country to help build our school and so on. So it's not the amount of degrees you have, it's the wisdom, it's the understanding, it's the love and care for your people, for your country, for what you know to be how I want my country. Do I want a country where my yard, this is the Prime Minister may I talk to now, listen to me, Prime Minister, my yard, my wall pretty, the road leading to my house pretty, when you drive in, the lawn pretty, the flowers pretty, when you open my front door, it's a palace, you have chandeliers, everything is nice for me. But when we drive past that level and turn the corner, the road dirty, it filthy, full of
we don't care as long as the pathway to my palace is okay. I don't business down there. You asked me something. You asked me something earlier. I know I give a joke on it when you said, "What if we didn't have a master, have a PhD or a good education like the rest of them?" To be honest, a lot of time I lay down. A lot of time I say people don't know what a person goes through. It hurt me. It hurt me in a sense that I say, God, I'm talk to him. I say, God, man, I say only if one day I could have just wake up and I could have just take up one book and I could have read it from beginning to end. I say, me that shock the world. I just, because I wanted to do it just like everybody else. Sir, just like how you can take up a book. I remember one time when I get arrested and I locked up because I spent 6 months in Rikers Island, not Rikers Island, in Spanish Town prison when I was younger, stealing a chain.
A chain? Okay, 6 months.
And me being there for 6 months, I take back the chain because I feel say the woman owe me my money and me want it. I'm going to get the money, so me take the chain instead and me get caught. And in there was a guy named Chucky. And he was reading, he was laughing. They noticed he was reading. And brother, me and the man in the same place. You are laugh. No TV, no in there, no radio, no in there. Yo, you have to let me know what you laugh for, kind of brother. Yes, man. And we said to him one day, and I said, yo, because he's American, and he said, what are you laughing? And he said, man, this book is crazy. So I actually explained my situation. Do you know that man start back the book from the beginning and read it out for me?
My goodness.
Be time he done that the book, let me know every scripture, every line, every verse in it. Because my brain is like a sponge.
Yes. Well, you see what you're doing, you're compensating. The human body is like this. If a person can't walk, like him lose him leg, you'll find his muscles here become very strong.
Yes.
You understand? If a person can't hear properly, you'll find his feeling, his sense of touch and his eyesight become sharper. So what happened with you? Any deficiency you have on the one hand because of your lack of proper educational training, you have made up for it by using that God-given intellect to sharpen other skills, right? Now, not everybody does that, Some people are lacking, and what they do, they become, the word I'm looking for, they become sorry for themselves. They become afraid to let other areas of their abilities pop out. And so they just start to become introverted and closed off and then become inferior in their own minds. Now, as I talk to you, I can realize you don't have any form of inferiority complex.
No.
None at all. Even though you know that there are certain lack that you have, but you are overcompensated for those lack. You understand me? So you become sharp, and the more you become sharp in other areas, your confidence rises. Your confidence.
All right. I wrote 2 major plays in New York. 2 major play I wrote with a famous writer. And I want to explain to you, you know, I take the idea to him for the script. The only reason why I didn't wrote the script is just because I couldn't write some of the words. So I come to you and I said, sir, me have one banging play. And he said, I'm gonna say, all right. I'm gonna say, scene one, lights up. I'm gonna say, well, somebody come to the door and say, yo, take coat to come out of the house. Big boy replied, me no know your house, me up on the veranda. And I suck on, you know, so my pearl come out. Liquor boy, if you don't get up off, I better show you some people on you. And I saw the character start and him start right. Do you know that man take those two plays, send it to Jamaica and make a famous actor do the play and didn't give me credit for it?
Wow.
And as I sit in front of you, you hear me tell you, sir, I wrote a magazine that was written by a different company when the say this play by Lacell Parnell and that individual in public. So how come when you come to Jamaica, you still deny me?
Yeah, amazing. Some people are like that. They are so dishonest and deceptive, and you can't trust them, and they'll stab you in the back. But that's our life, eh? I was born 1971, so I'm just 1 year younger than you. And so
Well,
I'm
actually, I'm born 2 times in that 1 year, though.
2 times in the 1 year.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, tell me about the one day. How you born
Okay,
2 times in one?
so luckily, all my life, I remember growing up, you know, we never really celebrate birthday, but my mother or my bigger sister, they would say, Lacell, you know your birthday today, March the 7th. So growing up, doing March the 7th of my birthday, get the opportunity to go to New York to do play 1996. Well, me did come back as I tell you. I get in when I get ready to get married now, I have to find get my birth paper and the government have my passport, so I couldn't marry because me actually run off. So then hold on for my document. So me have to get my passport to find. So when my passport come up, me married in March the 7th, 1970, and that was good. Everything in that month there, everything and marriage license, birth certificate for my daughter, my job, everything settle up that way. But when I come back to Jamaica now to start fresh, I got my birth paper. I'm born that month, I born March the 7th, 1970. March the 17th, sorry.
Oh,
March the 17th,
March
1970.
17, 1970. Well, welcome to Jamaica, sir, where all those things are normally possible.
Well, it look like I'm a new person because probably me never even born either. Because look on it that way, because if they must have 2 times born, me don't know which one real.
Exactly. No, and that's normal. I mean, here, especially back in those days, you know, you have a lot of mix up.
Yeah, man.
Some of us don't even know if we have a real father. You know. So you might your name might be Purnell, but you're really Charles.
I guess for now, no, me no know because me can't go dig up daddy now if you don't know DNA because it not go work.
Exactly. So
You
that
just
is
leave it alone.
But let's shift the conversation now. We have about 15, 17 minutes left. I wanted to talk about how do we encourage and motivate our fellow Jamaicans to rise out of poverty. And I'm particularly concerned about the young people that I see today. They're struggling really because they're more exposed than you and I were in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, right? They're more exposed to TV, more TV than you were watching that influence you. They would see many more things. They're exposed to internet. They're watching people looking dashing and superb and living very big life. And I know some right here in my constituency, Northeast St. Elizabeth. You go down at Elam, you go down and look at some of the living standard little board house. Yeah. Still right now, the outside bathroom or pit toilet, right now in my constituency. I went up in the hills I helped some peanut farmers. And when I went up there to the house of one of my constituents, it's a small board house and a sheet separate the two sides where mommy and daddy sleep over here, and their daughter sleep over here. and then the kitchen is outside, and the little toilet is outside. And when you look at the wall, which is just the board, you can literally see between the boards. So, at nighttime, the coal here going just drift
Yeah,
in.
come right in.
That is today, 2023. Okay? So I want when that little girl or that little boy that is hearing us tonight, one way or the other, they'll see it somewhere on YouTube. What can we say to them to motivate them to overcome the despair of the poverty they're in today? When I was a boy, I remember how I felt. I felt vulnerable. I felt sometimes hopeless. How am I ever going to overcome this? Now, I was very ambitious. So that was a key thing for me. My mind was very fertile. I wanted to succeed. I wanted to get better so I could help mommy. I actually said to my mother when I was a little boy, I said, Mommy, don't worry. When I get big, I'm going to get rich and take care of you. You
I did
understand?
the same thing. I did
Yeah.
the same thing. I
You know,
told my mother at the age 7,
seven
that
years. Yes, yes.
I was 7 year old when my mother reminded me, said, man, you said that you was going to go a foreign and you was
Mm-hmm.
going to marry to a big trap, because I like every set woman. I married the woman of my dream when I told her I want a big mampy girl. I married to that woman and I migrated and I helped all of them. How to take yourself out of poverty. They have the opportunity right now more than what me and you did have. They have the resource. Um, I'm on TikTok a lot, and I've seen TikTok have created some great comedians and entrepreneur. They are singers. Use what you got. Use the resource. You have your phone. You have the gadget. Use it. And a matter of fact, you have education. Most of you young people know not too bright. That's what they come like on the band with machine in our head. Don't use it to say, okay, I'm gonna the clothing. Forget about it. I can't tell the last time I buy anything new for myself because I have clothes already. So in my closet, I get clothes from people from foreign. People come down and buy my clothes down here. Me rotate my clothes then. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have the resource now like what we used to have. I'm taking care of 2 grandkids and it costs me money. 1 year old, 1 year and 2 months, and 4 year and couple months. So me have to put my resource in them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have some mother out there now that they're not that illiterate like before or duns. Them
Mm-hmm.
can read. Come up with a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a business. If I have an online plan, come up with raising some chicken. Every last one of you kids can get yourself out of poverty. Enough of you can sing, enough of you can write. Write for me. Write. Say, oh, Mr. Lacell, you know, I write one comedy skit for you. Can you do it for me? Or can you put it out and anything like that? Okay, if it's successful, you get paid for it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Try
yes.
to see if you can get your kids in some commercial. Find out if they can endorse KFC. Push them. Them look good, them cute. Carry them go every audition there is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not
You
because you
know,
live a Cockburn Pen, not because you live down at Tivoli. Take your kids uptown and find out where they're doing audition for kids person to do commercial and find out, put my kids there.
do you know, Lacell, that today a young boy or young girl with a smartphone can decide that they're going to go on YouTube and they're going to learn how to code. They're going to learn how to write programs. They're going to learn how to design a game. They're going to
Thank you.
learn how to come up. They're gonna dream up an idea that you and I don't even think about yet. Before that was in the domain of those in the wealthier country who have access to technology, but we didn't. Today, a poor young boy like me and you from the 70s, who has a phone, by the way, because him auntie send him some money and him get a smartphone, or she come down and bring a smartphone for him. You understand? Our uncle, or somehow him work at the in-town supermarket, and the people them give him money when him pack the bag them for him, plus the company pay him a little money, and then put that together and then buy a smartphone and then put on some data on it, and him have two choices. Him can spend the time and watch all kind of stuff which is entertaining but not
Mhm.
necessarily educational. And of course, life is like that. You need some entertainment and you need some education. Now, if he splits his time and splits the little resources he has between learning and enjoying life, he, without having any formal education beyond high school, can become a powerful programmer and write a powerful program or design a powerful game or design a powerful utility, being as poor and as uneducated as he is. You understand? Now, here's what I want our young people to know. There's a basic formula for how you escape poverty. And that formula requires you to remember what I'm about to say to you now. It's a basic formula. The formula goes something like this. Your economic value, your economic value is determined by the demand for what you do, how well you do it, and how difficult it is to replace you. It's difficult to replace Lacell. You understand? Because Lacell has made there's a market. He has identified the demand for what he can do and what he chose to do. The demand for what you can do. He has done it very, very well. Yeah. And he has made himself indispensable in the space that he has carved out. So let's say right now you're working at a gas station. That's all the job you could get. You have a choice. You can go to work every day miserable. You can decide that you're not going to be kind and respectful and polite to customers. You can decide that every chance you get, you're going to try to see if you can thief something on the job. You can choose to do that. Now, chances are, if you follow that path, I can assure you, you will likely be poor for the rest of your life. Or you can choose another path. You can decide to say, I am grateful that I have a job. I am thankful that this company, even though they're not paying me as much as I would like to be paid, I am thankful that they have hired me. So you know what? I'm going to treat each of their customer like I would like to be treated if I were coming for service. In fact, I'm going to treat them better than I would like to be treated. And I'm going to do my work with efficiency, with alacrity, with speed, with accuracy, and pleasantly. And because of that, I'm going to make sure that I learn as much as I can about the company, as much as I can about my role, and as any other roles I can think of until I find my place in that company or some other enterprise, which might even be an enterprise I create for myself. Why am I saying this? The more you learn and the more you learn to earn because of the value you impart to others, is the more value you will attract to yourself. The more you try to get something for nothing, is the less value you will attract, because your meanness by not giving others the best that you can give will result in others not giving you the best that they can give you. What do you say to that, Mr. Lacell?
Boy, brother, as we said before, people, we need to see this man. He's running for a secondary party in Jamaica. A good speech. I've
UIC.
never spoke to this man before. I saw you all the time when you're doing your campaign, when I seen you doing your demonstration. I watch it, but I never know that I'll get the chance to interact with you. Yesterday I got an interested call from I call this young man, and I saw something about him, 13-year-old from Cockburn Pen,
Yeah.
and he's one bright little fellow, bright. And he's doing teaching in his community after school. And everybody said that, boy, this boy gonna be a government personality.
Mm.
So he wanted to do something in his community. And true, I know that I'm a very good with community project. So I say, you know what, let me call and find out from his parents, if I could come on board to go down there and do a stand-up comedy, have that in Cockburn Pen. Right on the sidewalk, you see where they have some people sit on one part and then they go up on stage and they go up on here and entertain them. So I call the youth, I get him. He say hello, tell me who he is. I say, can I speak to an adult because he's 13, so I want to do protocol. So I said, let me speak to your mother. He said, I can make you speak to my aunt. Speak to the aunt. I said, I guess he don't know who I am. And the little boy come on the phone and, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Handsome. I know who you are. I know you are. I say, how do you know me? He do a SBA on one of my character, Mr. Handsome, and get 99.
Wow.
This little boy could have used Oliver Samuel, Tutu, Shibata. He used me and
Mm-hmm.
get a 99.
Amen.
You know what that made me feel? At least I become a role model for some person.
Absolutely.
Despite the fact that what you said about me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, in life, it doesn't matter where you start out. It doesn't matter where you start out in life. It is what you have become and what you are becoming. You understand?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, as long as you, sometimes I'm asked by people, what is success? And I like to define success this way because I don't define success simply in you having, let's say, money or assets. That's good. But success to me is you progressively realizing a worthy objective, a worthy
Mm.
ideal. So the more you're working towards something, so everybody right now that's listening, you can be a success right this minute by deciding and setting a goal that is worthy and start to work towards that goal. And as you work towards that goal, you're getting successful and more successful and more successful. And that's what Mr. Lacell
You know,
did. He set
I
a
prove
goal. Oh, yes. Go
I've been
ahead.
proving my success every time, more and more. Because every time I go to an event, um, I feel like I improve more. So here I am, went to an event Sunday, and I seen this man walk in. Don't know nothing about the man. Giving my jokes, my stand-up comedy. This man walk in and me start to joke on the man. Because the man just look away. He not dress up in a no tie. He just dress in
Mhm.
a one nice regular shirt, one nice pants. I'm finding coming as a comedian. Once me see you and you look away, me see you, me I take set by you. I say, sir, you know, you kind of look like you have money. Come here, I talk to you, man. Just hear me out. And me and him start have a dialogue. So, same time, this man walk in with his wife in a capacity of 150 people. Me start collect offering same time. I say, you know what, we're going to collect a little love offering. You know, and me start walk around with the plate and people start putting in $1,000. This man put in 20 US. Me say, you know what? Me say, you know, something coming on my spirit about you, you know. And say he's a very wealthy man, you know, but me can't put my name. I can't put me don't know who you is. And somebody said, Robert Livingston. And I said, Robert Livingston, a name they sound like a rich name. But anyway, I'm not pay him no mind. And it so happened that the man is a famous record producer. He was Shaggy, farmer, producer, and some other more. And this man said, yo, in telling sister, say, won't get that man from. That man was hilarious. Wow. And you know, it's like me, I say, okay, I work, I say, at that time I work, you know. Oh, good gosh, man, I work. I work.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
never write normally any wedding you book me for. Um, he was dubbed for some persons who watch a wedding and go to wedding say, you know, Mr. Hanson, becoming one, you become one of the best wedding MC because I don't only MC wedding, I actually sing. So if you request a song, a Luther Vandross, a Keddy Lattimore, whatever song you request for me to sing, I'm singing that at your wedding and I'm singing it damn good.
Wow.
Somebody just come up there and just say, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Thomas is going to give a speech. Me give more than that. Me make you not eat. When you invite me to your wedding, you not eat no food. That's
Wow.
I make you laugh. From me, take over the floor as master of sermon. You laugh until the groom make his closing remarks. You are laughing up until the end. Me get a job for you.
Mhm.
Never do it to the best. Sir, I got a wedding, you know, and in this process of me go that wedding, we get 4 wedding in that one wedding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're good. Because you're good.
Me know what you do.
Yes. Yes. We
Me know
have
what you
we
do.
have one. We have what? Just about 1.5. Well, almost 1 minute. A little bit over one
Anybody
minute.
want to ask any question?
Any questions on the platform? There's been lots of comments going down. Person's expression appreciation for what you have done and said. I don't see a lot of questions. I think they're just enjoying the talk, enjoying to hear us talk and stuff. Give us your closing thought. What do you want to close with tonight?
Listen, man, you know, just you see, one of my one biggest concern that a lot of person don't talk about,
Hmm.
and you know, I feel like say is the war that going on in Ukraine and Russia,
Hmm.
and you know, we sit around and we don't know how much that war is going to affect us,
Hmm.
and if the war between China and America come, is worse going to affect us,
Hmm.
and we're asking ourselves the question, where do we go from here?
Hmm.
Because evidently we heard about the World War I. We
Hmm.
heard of, we heard about World War II. All
Hmm.
of us who are living right now, we might just see World War III.
Yes, yes.
Nobody's not praying. Nobody's not saying God. You know, because I remember one time the Persian Gulf, the song, and then that's why they write the song. We pray and God deliver. We pray and God stop the war. We pray and God deliver. God gave us one more chance.
Amen.
I think when it's time for we to sing that song, our chance is already up. Nobody
Mhm.
is not crying peace. You know, nobody's not crying peace, and it concerns me a lot. It really do. I have my youngest grandkids. One just born a couple weeks ago. So I have seven grandkids so far. One more is on
Wow.
the way, make eight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope that one born healthy and everything. So I would have eight grandkids.
Mhm.
And I kind of worry that what's going to happen to them, you know, if this thing become sore.
Yeah.
And if we, as the elder, is not there, I worry. I want to see them grow. I ask God to give me at least the next 25 years so I can actually see my youngest them grow up and I can see them.
Mhm, mhm.
Because as I say in my first statement, that I didn't take care of my oldest daughter. I didn't know how to be a father, you know.
Mhm.
And by me down here now, I go to America, learn how to love, learn how to be a father, learn how to be a husband. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Know how to be a family man. So I come back down here, I bring everything that I learned right back with me. And I hope we
Yeah,
can do this. I hope a
very good.
person who are a father, who are a mother listening to it, hug with sometime, man.
Mhm.
Tell us you love us.
Mhm.
Tell
Show some
us,
affection.
show some man, that bad. Don't make me lean on your shoulder. Good night, Sonia Pink. Don't make me lean on you. And you have some person like, the lady I work out, Sonia Pink, and many other persons who encourage me by, taking care of my grandkids. And I didn't want them in the first place because what am I going to do with two little kids?
Exactly, exactly.
But trust me, I do believe that those two little kids coming in my life is one of the best things that ever happened to me. Listen,
I
man,
can
I slow
imagine.
down, man. It show me how to really, connect.
That's good. Purpose Driven Vibes is asking you, what do you think about the UIC?
Oh, wow. I honestly never spoke to you before. And I seen it that we need radical. We need some left wing because America have left wing, they have right wing. What we can have to be left wing.
Yes,
Well, we
yes.
can't make our decision choose. You see, I do believe that your party is a good party, and if persons decide to say, listen, me not vote for the one, me not vote for the one, let's come over here. So then they will see how important the people is to the party. You see me, 10 people drop over the side, 40 people can then come over your side because they realize that we need a change.
Mhm, mhm.
We need a change,
Right. Thank you. We
and the change
definitely
is
need a change. And the UIC is here for that change. And we want to let you know that we are here for Jamaicans just like you, people who, the UIC is a unity movement. So you see, those of you who believe that you are fully dunce, the UIC need you because we're here for you. Those of you who think you're very bright, the UIC need you. We're here for you. And those of you that fall somewhere in between, the UIC need you because we're here for you. The bottom
and we
line
can
is,
we
go
can
ahead.
tell everybody who listening from UIC, I have
Yeah,
some great ideas, man. I have
yeah.
some great ideas.
And we welcome them and we're looking forward to hearing them because at the end of the day, the way the UIC looks at Jamaica, we have we have used 80 years so far. We have had an 80-year experiment of working with two parties for 80 years, and the outcome has left some undesirable results for us to look at. Our economy isn't working for all of us. Our education system continues to fail more than 70% of us. Our healthcare system is more a health scare system.
Mm.
And it is very clear that our government is more interested in selling our assets than building our assets. So the UIC is saying it's time for us to have good governance now, where our government actually works for us instead of the PSOJ oligarchy or the colonial powers. Let it work for Jamaica people now. Jamaica first. And that's why our symbol is one. One Jamaica, because we're stronger together. Let us unite in a fight for good governance, not a fight for party or a fight against each other. Let us unite as one Jamaica for the benefit of all Jamaicans. That's our goal. That's our mission. So
Thank you,
thanks
sir.
again, Mr. Lacell, for joining us, and we look forward to more dialogue with you. And we wish you all the best in your continued work of bringing love and laughter to the Jamaican people and peoples around the world. Keep it
I
up.
I I wanted to ask you a favor.
Sure.
If you get a chance to win or go even nowhere near win, and you're keeping any kind you're keeping any kind of function, hire
Yes.
me. You
I
want to
will be
see what
calling
you
you.
want to see. Even if you don't win, even
Yes.
anything you're doing, just
Yes.
hire me. I just want you to see what I can do.
Well, I can assure you the next event that the UIC puts on, you will be there. You will be there. So thank you so much. You are a very entertaining character, and I'm quite impressed by
I
you.
got some fun jokes, man.
You
I
know,
have some fun jokes. I gave
uh,
a joke about one police the other day, man. I was driving, man. And brother, me dip on gas on the highway, man, and police pull me over and I said, Jesus Christ, we'll get one ticket. You know me though? Me just make sure me tap the car, me just run go over the bush and start pee. And make sure the people wet up all me hand. And you see when, when they come back out, and me go forgot to put my paper there when they look at me say, right, me not to try me hand. See, man, me never know what the paper go on.
that's a good one. I don't know if I can try it, but it's a good one.
You got to be still like me to do that.
Oh
All
gosh.
right, man. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you
All the
so,
best.
so, so
Take
much.
care. Pleasure. Pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, pleasure is mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Lacell Girlie Parnell. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't know his entire background, and to be honest with you, you know, it's it's not entirely important to know every single detail. But let's give all of our Jamaicans a chance. They might have made a mistake. They might have been, um, what's the word now? Mislabeled, wrongly accused. We don't know. Persons do things. As he said, he ran off to the States and tried to make a life for himself, given the difficulties he had here. And he has risen, above all the challenges and made something of himself. I am particularly impressed by him. I am proud of him for what he has been able to achieve, what I'm hearing from him directly here. I don't know everything about him, but from what I'm seeing and hearing here, I am most impressed by him. And I pray that he will continue to grow from strength to strength and be a positive influence for everyone with whom he comes into contact. And the same for all of us. We all have challenges, we all have hurdles and difficulties in our lives. And the most important thing is for us to rise to the challenge, put our best foot forward, and to be as ethical, as honest, and as personable as we possibly can be. And so I want to thank all of you for joining me here tonight. I want you to do me a favor. When I close the live, please go on into the comment section and comment. Say what you think about the live. Give us a score, 100% if it was good, 1% or whatever if it was bad, or 50-50. Let us know. Share your thoughts. Give us some feedback once I close the live. And get your family and friends to subscribe. Right now, our subscription is fairly low. We only have about 6,000. Of course, it's higher than some people, but it's time for us to get the subscription level up to 10,000. So help me by the next time we come on to have 10,000 persons who have hit the subscription button. So you subscribe, so you can hear from us, you can know when we're going live and can jump on in a timely manner, so you can all participate and hear. All right. And the UIC is here. We're your party. We're your movement. Unlike the others, we're not being controlled by special interests. We want to be owned and controlled by you. So join, volunteer, and donate. Go to uicjamaica.com and join right now if you haven't, and volunteer to do anything, even just to do word of mouth, and donate so that we can have the funds we need to go around the entire island to all 228 divisions, all 63 constituencies, all 14 parishes, and all 3 counties. Help us to help you. If UIC wins, you win. You will have a safe Jamaica, a clean Jamaica, a very orderly Jamaica, a Jamaica where you can live, earn, and retire with dignity. Help us make that happen. We can't do it without you. Thank you very much and have a good night. Until next time, all the best. Bye-bye.